Welcome back to X3 Terran Conflict, and it's time to get our empire off the ground a little bit, I think. We have one ship, I left you last episode, with us getting about 1.7 million credits, and I've done a few missions, nothing special other than take this to here, that's it, pretty much. So that's given me a few more credits, and I'll add a few more miscellaneous upgrades, nothing that you need to know about, just basically stuff on this ship. So if we just have a look at the ship, just so you can follow along. I've also updated this video, so it's now in 1440p rather than 1080p. That may mean the screens are a little bit smaller. If you prefer me to go back to 1080p, I can. There's no independent user interface scaling, unfortunately. This gives you more detail, more graphics, if you like, but also the menu screens are a little bit smaller. But hopefully this will quite clear to you. Okay, so yes, where was I? Info. Okay, so we just scroll down on our info on our current ship. You'll see what I've got installed. So we did last episode, engine tuning, rudder optimization, best buys and best selling. I'm talking over the I'm talking over the subtitle, but that's fine. Yes, best buys and best selling price locators, both well worth actually having, and then a whole bunch of other miscellaneous stuff. So boost extension, I think we actually got that by default. You can press, I think it's tab, and it boosts to full speed immediately. Fight command software you've seen before. Jump drive is the most important one to actually upgrade, and then a bunch of different other stuff like a transporter device that lets you change ship without ejecting. The triplex scanner and video enhancement goggles. Video enhancement goggles, if I press Alt, in fact I have to be out of the menu, but if I press Alt when I'm out of the station, it has to be when I'm out of the station. We'll come back to that in a second. It just zooms in. There's nothing special about it. Okay, so what are we going to do today? Well, here's our property screen. Yeah, it's a little bit dry, isn't it? There's nothing much in here, and we need to get other stuff going. Now, 1.7 million credits is not a lot of money. It sounds like a lot. You start out with about 9,000 credits, so it seems huge. It's not. The Trade Command Software Mark III, which we need to make sort of autonomous traders that go around and make money for us, is about 500,000. So that's just a piece of software. So we're not going to have too much to be able to start off with. That's going to have to build up slowly. And do be aware of that. It is a long-term sort of game. So to start that, we're first of all going to trade, and we're at the shipyard at the moment in Argon Prime. I've also, oops, let me just show you the sector. I've flown around a little bit so you can see that here that there's a lot of places I've been to, out to the west, up a little bit to the top, and then back down and around. Okay, I haven't explored too far. We're still based around Argon Prime a little bit, and there's a few places that I probably want to think about setting up shop, if you like. One is in Argon Prime, another one maybe Ore Belt for ore, surprisingly, and there's a couple of other places as well that are important, maybe over in Ringo Moon. We'll see where we actually get to, but to start we need to actually think about well, I want to trade, and I don't actually want to buy stations yet. That's a trickier situation. We'll come back to that probably next episode. I actually want to rebuy one of these Mercury cargo vessels. They seem like it's on Mark 5s from EVE Online. Anyway, the Mercury. We can buy, don't worry, the small, medium, large isn't much of a problem. I think that's just the shields that they're fitted with. But the tanker and the Tanker XL versus Mercury, I think that's the actual amount of cargo space. So given that we've got 1.7 mil, I don't quite mind spending, 627, I guess. Ooh, this is going to be expensive. Okay, so 627, and we've purchased it. Okay, now it has Trade Command Software Mark 1, as you see it right now. If we go to our properties screen again, you'll see I've now got Mercury Tanker XL. And we can even have a look at the info, and it has 5,700 cargo units. All right. Now, in order for that to start going and making money for us, we're going to have to send it somewhere, and the closest place I think of is Home of Light. So if we just send it to there, we can basically give it orders, command it, etc. And navigation, I want to dock at Home of Light and send it to TerraCorp. TerraCorp happens to have a lot of the bits and pieces that we want. In particular, Trade Command Software Mark III. And we may well need to upgrade it with a few other things as well, like the fight command software and bits and pieces so it can defend itself. Maybe a triplex scanner and stuff like that. But, yeah, we can get that going. Now, I'm going to undock and we're going to turn around because I want to see to get it over there in a reasonable amount of time. And yes, it is tab for boost extension. So we've boosted up to full speed. And then I'm just going to decelerate once I'm out of the way of the station. And we should be able to see, if I bring up the map, our new trade ship. Hopefully not blow itself up on the gate as it heads down to the gate. Fine. I'll jump forward until it's then docked over in TerraCorp. And while that's happening, I want to cover one thing that I may not have mentioned explicitly, but it's very, very important for you to know. All of these stations, they sort of interlock with each other. They basically trade with each other through the NPCs in the game. So you can see on the screen all these ships moving around. They are actually moving real goods around. And for example, one thing that I actually want is advanced satellites. So what they do is they let me see a live view of whatever sector they're put in. So if I go into, let's say, Heron's Nebula, I can see the factories and I can go and see what they have because I've flown past them once. So I can go into info there and see that that produces Hornet missiles and Firestorm torpedoes, but it also takes energy cells, meat state kahunas, ore, and silicon wafers to do so. Okay, so it needs to be supplied with those. And until it does, well, nothing much happens, which is what the problem with the Advanced Satellite Factory is. Because if I go into there, you'll see that it has zero stock of the advanced satellites because it is short of Mahaglit or Margiglit, depending on how that's pronounced. I presume Mahaglit is how it's pronounced. And it only has a very, very low amount of stock. So until that happens, until it has enough stock, it can't produce enough satellites. But once we have those, once that starts, and it'll happen automatically, you know, a trader will come along, another ship, and it will just supply it with whatever it needs because it's buying stuff at higher than normal prices. So depending on what prices it's buying stuff at, the NPC traders will go and fetch stuff for it, which is kind of good because that's what our stations are going to be like once we build them. However, where are we? You're still trying to dock at TerraCorp. So one thing I should have done, I forgot, is to actually improve the engines of our first trader because it's really slow. Ah, there it goes. It is now finished. So let's trade and let's see what we can actually buy for this ship. I want a jump drive. Yeah, that will be useful. And trade command software, why can't I buy it? Because I need to be Argon accepted advisors. Now I bought interesting. Argon confirmed friend at the moment. How far off that am I? 40% through, so maybe I need to do some more missions. Fine, we'll just set it up as a buyer and trader in that case, and we'll come back to sector trader, buy and sell trader, sorry. We'll come back to sector trader once I can actually buy that software. So in the meantime, let's see if I can buy anything else that's useful for it. I guess in case I want to fly it in future, I should just buy the CETA. It's very, very cheap anyway. And again, just getting the basic bits and pieces that we're actually going to want. Not sure we want commodity logistics software, but I'll take them both anyway. We'll take those as well. And then I'm going to send it back to the ship, not the shipyard, the equipment dock back up here, and actually set it up with better engines. So to do that, we're just going to press enter, C, navigation, dock at, and then come back here and go to the equipment dock, please. While we're at it, we should probably think about renaming this as well. Your Mercury Tanker XL won't last for terribly much longer. Is it in advanced? Rename. Yep, there we go. So I'm going to just rename it, starting with ST for Sector Trader, and Mercury Tanker 1 for now. And that will do, just so that everything gets sorted alphabetically in the list. We may not use Mercuries for much for the rest of the game, but because they're convenient, they're near the start of where I started anyway, it's useful to actually use them. Okay, so why did I buy the jump drive at the end of the last episode, and why do I have a jump drive on our other cargo ship? Well, mainly it just lets us stop having to do this exact thing. So I'm going to go and do a mission or two, and not only does it let us skip the gates like this, it also lets us do missions that are much harder than normal without any problems, because we don't have most missions are timed, and we don't have any of those problems when we can just jump between sectors. So, is there anything in here that we might want? So there's a couple of missions. There's one from this Argon Octopus over here. So let's see what they want. Press 1, what are you offering? I no longer need my Octopus as I've purchased a newer model. I'm willing to sell it for 71,200 credits. But it has 100% hull. And generally, if it has 100% hull, it's not usually being sold for a bargain. We can repair ships manually by getting out and using like a little repair gun if we want to save a lot of money. So if you see something with lower than 100% hull and it's being sold for a cheap amount, check the wikis maybe to see what its amount it goes for is, and then you might find yourself able to repair it and sell it for, well, quite a lot of money. But in our case, no, that's not going to actually help us that much. The red targets are kill missions, so we don't want those. We can look at the light bulb missions if we like. Well, we can if they're in communications range. Is there anything in communications range? Yes. Okay. Let's speak to you and let's see what they want. So, yeah, they want to crack down on illegal goods. Not so much. Okay, I think I want to look for just general trading missions, and to do that, we're probably going to have to go to another sector again. Maybe up towards Cloud-Based Northwest, or down towards Red Light. Let's try going north, because the North Gate is right there, and that is a huge ship. What are you? Okay. Fair enough, and I will see you in the next sector. Okay, and here's something that's more like it. We're up in... where are we? Hang on. Power Circle. Okay. And I was about to dock with this station. In fact, I still may actually dock. Let's just do that, because there's something here that I want. Let's just dock automatically while I talk. So, as we're docking, in Free Argon Trading Station, there is a mission. And that mission is to go to Antigone Memorial and go and fetch some stuff and bring it back here. So that is one east in there, and we have to go to, presumably, one of these stations. Okay, so you could fly that quite easily, but since we have a jump drive, we may as well use that as a demonstration. Now, jump drive is only really limited by the amount of energy, what are they called? Are they energy? My property? I've got some on me, probably. Freight. Energy cells, there we go. So I've got 320 of them in this ship. And they power the jump drive. So every sector you go is about 5, unless it's over a certain amount, then it's like 10 or 15 per jump. But in this case, one jump would be just 5 or 10 or something like that. It's not going to be terribly expensive, and energy cells are quite cheap. So we're just going to dock with the station. And I want to show the other thing that's here. So if we have a look at trade, you'll see it has Marglit. Okay. And I guess we could start... Yeah, thanks. We've got connection. We grab some of these and we just fill our ship up with those. We could actually take them down to that navigation factory. The Advanced Satellite Factory. However, also on here is a navigation relay satellites. Now, they are the cheaper, easier versions of those advanced ones. They're smaller range. They're kind of like a duplex scanner type instead of a triplex scanner type. And they let you see all the ships in the system, or at least within their range. The trading system extension, by the other hand, the thing that you've actually equipped, or you should have if you're following along, lets you then interact with the stations in the system. So you can get remotely viewable, remotely purchasable stuff going in another system, which is good. We have that ability. Now, we have full upgrades here. Has my other ship arrived at its station yet? No, it hasn't. It's really slow. It's really incredibly slow. So I'm not going to buy anything here just yet, but just to bear in mind, I may well be buying navigation satellites here or later trading that Mahaglit stuff to the other station, assuming that it's actually legal. There is some stuff that isn't legal but is available for sale on stations, so we can come back there later. Anyway, now I'm just going to go ahead and do that mission, I think. So you can see there is a communications thing there. I'm just going to turn away from the station a little bit and head over here, just so that I'm going somewhere. And then we'll just go at that mission. So what is it asking us to do? Communicate, press 5. Are you looking for help? Yes. So please bring up back 41 luxury foodstuffs to here from Antigone Memorial and the Argon Equipment Dock. Fair enough. Quite simple. Fine by me. So we've now got a mission. And if we just go over to, in fact, no, we can just use our current ship. It's now giving us arrows on the center of the screen telling where we actually need to go, but we're not going to need to worry about that too much. I can just go to my own, there is a shortcut key to actually doing it this way. Can I actually remember it though? It's been a while. I want to get to this screen. It's a shift key and I can never remember what it is. Maybe shift C, is it? Let's try it. Shift C? Yes, it is. Okay, so shift C, navigation, and I want to jump and fly to station. So we're going to choose that. Then we want the Argon Equipment Dock. And you'll see at the bottom of the screen it says jump device charging. We're not going anywhere near a jump gate. It does take a little bit of time to jump, but not as much as you would going through a gate. Don't worry. Jumping. And here we go. More importantly, it's also going to then continue flying towards the station, at which point we can dock. Now, there is only a certain limit to this kind of shortcutting when you do. It's a shame, but we can't actually just jump straight to a station. You are always jumping to effectively a gate in your target system. So when you're only going one system across, it's not terribly effective. But, you know, you can imagine getting a hard mission that's like 6 or 7 away in a very short timescale. Without a jump drive, you probably just couldn't do it. Your time taken to fly through gates and get docked and stuff like that, not to mention how long you're actually staring at things as you're actually moving forward, it's not great. So yeah, you may want to have a little bit of a go with jump drives if you're going to do a few missions. So hopefully that autopilot is going to miss that station. Thank you. And even to the point that if you want to save extra time, don't auto dock like this, but instead fly manually, you know, request permission to land and fly manually. The other thing you can do to improve docking is you can get a docking computer. We don't have one yet. When we get one, I think, but when you're within a few kilometers of a station, you'll just actually appear in the station. You won't have to go through this docking process, which is really, really nice. Okay, so we've now picked up that stuff automatically, I think. So if we just go press P, is it in my proper? In fact, can we go through Shift C? No. Okay, fair enough. Property, and let's just make sure we have that stuff on board. I'm almost sure we will do. Literary foodstuffs. There we go. So we now have to go back to our original station. So let's just undock, turn around, and we'll do exactly the same thing. We'll do Shift C. In fact, let's just move away from this station, otherwise it won't work. It'll say you're too close. And navigation, jump and fly to station, back across, and then free Argon trading station. And it does the same thing again. And we should be able to then... Yeah, we're just waiting for it to charge up, and we should go back. So I'll see you over there. And in we come towards docking. And this should auto-complete for us. There we go. Now, let's see, has that actually affected our... yes, it has. Our Argon confirmed friend is now from 40% up to 82%. So you can see just a few of these missions will actually raise your reputation quite substantially. And our other ship has now docked, so we're just going to go to the other ship, and we're going to be buying basically engines all the engines that we can get. We could also potentially buy. Oh no, we couldn't. That's very expensive. You can buy cargo bay extensions, but to do that would cost hundreds of thousands. So I'm not going to do that just yet. I'm just going to buy engine tuning. I'm not going to worry about rudder optimization for now. I don't think. Oh, it is very cheap. I'll just buy it anyway. And some of this other stuff in case I actually need it. I'll just leave it with a duplex scanner for now. And we'll buy Fight Command software. I'd like Mark II as well, but we'd need extra reputation. This one came with it already pre-installed. Remember, that one does not have it yet. We're not going to worry about Mineral Scanner, but I'll just buy a few other bits and pieces. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Now what I'm going to do with that ship is I'm going to look at this other sector down here, Ore Belt. Now, it happens to have a few good things in Ore Belt. There is a solar power plant, so it's ripe for us to potentially put another solar power plant in there. It has multiple ore mines, and they will buy the energy cells from the solar power plant. So that's pretty good. Let's take a look at the solar power plant. You see it has no primary resources. That means it doesn't have to buy anything. It will constantly produce energy cells from the sun, essentially, from its star. So we don't have to do anything at all. The ore mines take energy cells and produce ore. And then I think... Yes, the Plutarch station buys ore. Among other places. So that's one place that buys ore. But there's also Sidearms Fab. Do they buy ore? Yes, they do. And they also buy energy cells. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 places that buy energy cells in a sector. And you have one place that produces energy cells. So what we're actually going to do is send our ship down there. We're going to go to the sector trader. It's not a sector trader yet, but it will be once I get enough reputation. And we're going to then just send it places. So I'm going to just communicate with it, tell it to dock at or jump. In fact, it can jump. So that is... I don't think it has any energy cells yet, though. So if it doesn't have any energy cells, it won't be able to jump. However, if I tell it to go here to the solar power plant, we can make sure it has energy cells. And once it gets there, then we will just get it to basically buy and trade energy cells and ore. And it should start making us money. Now, I may have to do that manually to start off with, which is why I want to do missions at the same time, so that I actually get enough reputation to make it do it automatically. And you don't even need to set it to do certain things automatically. You don't need to set it to do energy cells or ore. Once you've got a sector trader, you just start it, and it will just automatically make money for you in the background. Now, our player ship isn't terribly big. However, it will let us... Oh, no. Ooh, that was close. That was very, very close. And this is why autopilot is a bit of a danger sometimes. Okay, you going to turn around? Yeah. So, as I was saying, our player ship is not terribly... well, it doesn't have much cargo space, let me put it that way. However, it should let us carry enough of the stuff that will get this... hopefully get this advanced satellite factory started. So I went ahead and purchased stuff. Let's just look on here. Down... Oh, it's in the freight menu, isn't it? So I bought some of the Mahaglit stuff. We bought it for about 34 units. And I think this station, because it's very low, will be buying it about 60 a unit. So you'll make, you know, around 30, 26 or so profit for every unit. But unfortunately, we can only carry 90. We've got quite a small cargo bay. This is why at the start of the game, if you want to fly manually and made some money manually, you might actually want to fly your trader, not necessarily, you know, the player ship that has sort of more abilities. So you'll see here, if we sell this, we should make some money, a couple of grand, but also I think we may get some faction from this. Let's have a look. Okay, so that should be you able to start. You don't really get much feedback on that, but we can come back later. Did we actually get any improvement? Yes, we only got 4%. So 40 for a mission, 4% for a small amount of cargo. Yeah, it's not great, but at least we've got it going. And then, okay, so our Mercury tanker is Is it still in Argon Prime? Yeah, it's still in the same system we're in. Fair enough. Yeah, there it is. It's heading down south. Fine. So we've already got this started up. I may not be able to buy any of this episode, but we'll come back here and buy some advanced satellites at some point when it's got them available, and then put them in Argon Prime itself. That'll let me see all the traffic in here, but maybe even all the... I'm not sure if you can see the live missions and be able to get them remotely. That'd be nice if you could, but I'm not sure if you can do that. Instead, I'm going to go and dock at that, or head towards that so I can communicate, and see if we can get another mission. But I won't show the missions on camera. You've seen me do one. Assume that I'm going to be doing more. I will show you my progress just on the pilot screen. Okay, so just to show you the other kinds of missions that we could get, we're approaching this station here in Argon Prime, and there is a mission here, a light bulb mission. So look at that one. Whoops, wrong person. Sorry. And let's see what they want. So they want us to transport someone called Hanirasis Lotunis Uyamados III, Hani to his friends, pay us a very low amount of money, but at the same time, we may get some reputation for it. Now, passenger transport missions, I have a cargo life support system on this ship. It came with it. So if you have one of those, maybe I'm able to do this. I don't think I need anything more than that, but we'll see very shortly if that's the case, because I'm going to accept the mission, and if I can't do it, then I can't do it, but let's see if we can. So I've accepted that, and I have to dock at this station, and then we have to go to another station in, another system, another sector. Okay, so it's accepted that, so we have to go to Plankton Farm M Beta in Farnham's Legend. And he's not too happy, is he? He's not happy to be taxied around. Maybe we're the interstellar Uber for a small amount of money. In fact, it is very much like Uber, I guess, in that I'm not being paid terribly well. So yeah, well, anyway. So let's go across the Farnham's Legend, and this is probably one of those that we really would, because if we didn't have that, we'd have to fly down, cross twice, and then up into Farnham's Legend. And we had to go to Plankton Farm M Beta, and that's where we're going to have to go. So instead, we're just going to navigation, jump to sector, across the Farnham's Legend, and it's going to be the south station, I think. There we go. So let's head on our interstellar Uber and head this guy over. And in we come, finally. I didn't want to show you too many more missions, but this one was just worth showing you that we can actually skip a lot of the difficulty of missions because you don't have to fly around if you have a jump drive. Okay, and my performance has been excellent, apparently. We're going to get an Uber review of our spaceship service, in which case, let's take a look at our reputation again. No, we didn't get any Argon reputation. It looks like we got reputation from someone else entirely, so do be aware, you may be getting more than one reputation going. And they can go negative if you start annoying them. Anyway, I'm going to jump forward until I can get that trade command software. Now, although that mission was paid extremely poorly, the next mission I got after that was 400,000 credits for carrying 9 people 1 jump. So we're now back up to 1.3 million or so. Yeah, 1.3 million. So that's pretty much going to pay for that piece of software once we're able to get to it. In the meantime, our tanker's gone to the solar power plant and it's actually docked there. And you'll see if I press trade that the quantity is quite full. It's up to 7,254 out of 10,000. Also, the credits are down to 13. So when you're looking to buy stuff, you're looking for this gauge to be full. Selling stuff, you want that gauge to be empty for whatever you have. In our case, we have a lot of space, so we're going to buy 73,000 credits worth. And you'll see the credit amount at the top right has gone all the way up to 19 now, and we're full of energy cells. Now, the usual issue you get with this is that you decide to try and do that, and another station docks ahead of you and nicks all the stuff. So you get there, and there's nothing to buy. However, in this case, we actually do have stuff to buy. So if we go over to Ore Belt and we take a look at these other places, so the ore mines, we can see they have low, hang on, that's ore. They have no stock of energy cells. So we're definitely going to go over there and tell it to Wait, did I just tell mine to do that? No, not mine. I need to go and tell this to go and fly over there. So we're going to communicate, navigation, dock at, and then that bottom ore mine. Okay, so it's going to head over with its manual stock of energy cells, and it should be able to sell them at a decent profit. So remember, I think we bought, was it about 73,000 credits, something like that? That was the amount. Well, let's see how much they sell for. Okay, we're back here at our advanced satellite station. It's now got 2 satellites in stock, so we can take both of those. They don't take up much room at all in our ship, but we can buy them for 15,000 each. And given that this is Argon Prime, we should probably think about actually having a satellite here. It's just a location I might want to keep an eye on and have a look. So what I generally want to do when we're doing that is fly towards somewhere roughly in the middle. So in the middle of the gates where you can see all of the traffic, or you're going to want to be able to see all of the traffic passing through the system. And so we're going to head over there. And once we get there, we're also going to go off the plane of the system. So we're going to go slightly above or slightly below. Doesn't matter which in the case of... there's already a station below. So I'm probably going to fly a little bit above here and have our satellite so it's out of the way of all the traffic. We don't want accidental destruction of our satellites. So I'm going to head there, and I'm going to just tip upwards, and you'll see our craft aiming to follow it. It should be heading over here somewhere. Yep. And once it stops, we know we're in the right place, and we can launch our satellite. So in our freight menu, we should be able to eject and then select an amount, and we select 1 only. And there it is, it's ejected. So let's just head forwards a little bit to get away from it. Don't want to hit it ourselves. And let's just bring ourselves to a halt again. Okay, now if I go over, let's say, out of here somewhere, let's actually just go to the, well, we've got a satellite here, and you can already see it's displaying stuff on the screen. Let me just zoom in a little bit. There it is. So it should give us a live view no matter what we actually do here. So I'm free to leave the system now if I want to. Not that I need to just yet, because I want to do some more missions. But in the meantime, it doesn't matter when, we should be able to leave that behind and not have much of an issue. There you go, we're in Home of Light now, but this map is showing Argon Prime, and it's still showing where our satellite is, and it's just within range of most of the system. We could get another one up there if we wanted to, but I'm not terribly concerned about that. However, it does show up in the property menu, and I'm not sure I want to actually do that. So if we go across to options, we should be able to hide satellites, I think, in here somewhere. Can we actually hide them? I'm almost sure we can. Let me find that somewhere. Ah, there it is. I'm just blind. So we can just change that to say show satellites no, and then in the all we're back to our regular viewpoint now. So our trader has docked at the ore mine, and let's see if we can trade. It's not good. Well, there's not enough ore for us to be interested, but very much a lot of credits to be interested. So let's trade all of them we can, and we get 30,000 credits for doing that. However, I actually just want to keep some back on our ship. I want to keep maybe a couple of hundred back on the ship, and I can actually just probably click on that or something like that. Yep, there we go. So let's keep nearly 300. Sell the rest. There we go, and we're sold more credits. Now, am I still the same? I'm still 88% with Argon. I need to do more trading and see where we can actually get. Let's take a look at the TerraCorp stuff. And I'm going to dock there anyway and just let me see what my reputation allows me to buy. I'm going to do that off camera though. Now so far I've shown you how to do things manually. So there's stuff like dock at a station, go and see what the prices are, tell it to buy stuff, etc. But having to go through and look at this specific station is not terribly great. It's not nice. Sector Trader again will be fully automatic, but I did buy best buys and best sellers. Now, if you have a look at that on your other ship, let's just press enter here, and then, or in fact, we can probably do it from here. If I just highlight the ship and press 6, no, it's going to need me to go in. Okay, so once I go in, press 6, you'll see on 5, press 5 and press 6 now, there is a best buys and a best sell kind of menus. And we only get these because we've bought the upgrade. But if you have a look on here, you'll see that we can actually look at the buy screen. Energy cells are at 16 and they're at that solar power plant. But if there were multiple stations here, it would show me which station is the best buy. And the same thing with ore. Ore is actually, the average credits is 128, and the absolute minimum would be 114. And that's the best location we can buy ore at. And if we want to sell ore, then I'm not sure if there is a place that wants to buy ore at the moment, or at least that isn't just completely full up on ore, that is. So we can buy ore, or we can buy more energy cells. I'm going to send it back to the solar power plant, and then we can wait until, in fact, hang on, let me just get it to go and dock there. Yep, and it's gone to go and dock and wait for, you know, the prices to drop a little bit after the quantity goes up. So we never need to really look at the map once we've got a ship in a particular sector. However, that's not going to be the case for long. Now, unfortunately, we've run out of time a little bit today to get that trading software. I was hoping to get to it this episode. I'll show you it at the start of next episode because we'll need to get some other stuff done then. Next episode, I'm probably going to demonstrate, if I can, a starting station. Now, it's not going to be terribly profitable to start, but it's worthwhile seeing what the process is and maybe a couple of starting locations. I've mentioned one this episode. One is that solar power plant, and another one I can think of is a wheat farm in Argon Prime. Both of those are quite good places to have a little bit of profit to start off with, but we'll need to actually rent a ship that can. We won't fly it directly. We're just it's almost like a commission. We're going to commission another ship. Basically, pay it some money. It'll go and fly to the shipyard. It'll pick up the station that we want. So in this case, a wheat farm or a solar plant. Not quite decided yet. Maybe you can tell me in the comments which one you prefer, and I can more than likely look at those. Probably the wheat farm is probably the more profitable, but we'll see. Anyway, that'll get on board, and then we'll have to fly it out where we want it and then position it, etc. and stuff like that. In the meantime, I'm just filling up here with more energy cells so that I don't run out from my jump drive. And yes, just like that other remote ship can use best sells, best buys, well, so can I directly just by pressing 6 or 5. And we can see where the best place to buy stuff and sell stuff is. That will be sell, but this will be buy. And as you can see, the credits right now is 12. Which is why I'm heading here. I almost wish I had a larger cargo space just to actually carry more, but we can't really do that for the moment. Anyway, in we go, and I will see you next episode for the first station, and I'll show you the start of the sector trader at the start of next episode. It really will be just me going onto the ship and saying, hey, start sector trading. And from that point, you don't have to worry about it. Occasionally, it may stop and decide not to do anything, but we'll cover that as well at the same time. In any case, second episode, we've got a few missions done. We've got more, well, less money that I started the episode with, but I also bought a ship. So, you know, you can't have too much... you can't have too much of a credit. There we go. So I'm not going to fill it up entirely. I just want to make sure I've got about 300 or so, and that won't change the price much. Now, we can actually go and get that other ship to jump up here now because it has a jump drive and pick up these energy cells and then jump back down again. But yeah, we'll leave that for sector trading. I don't want to do too much manual trading at all. I want to get it set up and let it do it itself. All right, so if you hopefully like the episode, we've got a few missions done. Next episode, we'll carry on with more expansive stuff. And in the meantime, hopefully we'll see your comments. As always, guys, thanks for watching.